going back to the scent reviews, I make the candles and I'm much more inclined to use a scent that is stronger because I'm looking for a strong cold throw and a strong hot throw. So I mentioned that I ordered quite a few of the Lonestar fragrance samples because I really wanted to see what their fragrance line was like. And I picked out some of the ones that I already liked. And then, like I said, I'm planning on going through their Outlaw collection, which is the ones that I haven't smelled yet. So the next one is Black Chamomile. And I did not look at the scent notes on these ahead of time. I also wanted to just get a really good kind of first impression of what I thought about these. And then I can put some descriptions in for you. Okay, so this one it's more complex. It's got a floral scent to it, but it's not a light floral. It's more like a deeper, it's got something else in there that gives it a deeper fragrance. And with the name Black Chamomile, I'm thinking that it is supposed to be more like one of the tea kind of fragrances. It's really nice. I can see this being like a fall floral because it's got, I can't tell, but I could totally see this as being like something that could be a fall fragrance, more towards like, because I think about like the kinds of plants and decorations that people would have in the fall as I'm smelling this scent. So very interesting. I really might make a candle out of it just to see how that turns out. The next one is Sunlit Citrus Blossom. I had a hard time getting that one out of my mouth. This one is more floral than citrus. Really nice, and it doesn't have that soapy smell like what I was saying about how sometimes florals will have that soapy smell. This doesn't have that. A little on the powdery side, but not too much. The whatever's powdery in there just gives it some softness, but I would still put this more on the floral than fruity. French Market. French Market seems to be a popular scent. I actually haven't made any candles or anything with anything that's like a French Market, but I have seen different products that are made with, or I would say named something along the lines of French Market. So this one is more floral. Kind of think of like a flower stand or a bouquet. Yeah, definitely more like on the floral side, and it's different ones in there, so it doesn't smell like any standalone floral like lavender or jasmine. Actually, I want to go back to jasmine. No, it doesn't really have as much of the lavender or jasmine in there, but it does have some different floral notes in there, and it smells kind of like a high-end perfume, like something you would find in the department store at a Macy's or something like that. It's very nice. Fruit slices I did make a candle out of. And what was surprising about fruit slices, because this really does have a very fruity, very citrusy smell, and it was so familiar at first that I was trying to understand what it was similar to. And what I found was that after I made the candle, it smells just like a volcano scent. So I actually already was making volcano candles. So then I was just happy to find that Lonestar makes a fragrance that's very similar to the volcano scent. So a lot of times as a candle maker or any maker of handmade items, you want to make sure that you can get your materials from different places in case one supplier runs out of something, you have another supplier that you can go to, and that will at least be able to help you keep your inventory up and be able to fulfill orders. So, like I said, it was really a nice surprise that Fruit Slices smells like volcano, and I can have this as one of the suppliers of that scent. And it's volcano is just a very familiar scent. A lot of people know it and like it. And so again, if one of my suppliers runs out, then I know that I have another supplier that I can go to. So that is really nice. And a lot of times us candle makers, or again, like makers of handmade items, we're always looking for where we can go to get the things that we need so that we don't have any supply shortages in terms of our products and being able to fulfill orders. So that is very nice. So let's talk about the candles. So the Fruit Slices, like I said, smells like volcano. And I named my candle Volcano Breeze. This is a soy based candle. It's a 10-ounce clear glass jar, and it still has a really nice cold throw and clearly smells to me like volcano. So that came out really well. All right, so Jasmine, I made the Lonestar Jasmine into this candle. It's a 10-ounce soy. Actually, all of these are soy, and all of them are 10-ounce jars. And so I made them into the candles because I wanted to see how they would come out in a candle and not just out of the bottle. So very nice cold throw on the jasmine candle. The lavender fragrance I named Lavender Fields, and this came out very, very good, I think, in a candle. So I was happy with that. Inner Peace, I named this candle Peace and Petals because it was, even though there is a floral and a fruity, like it's citrus and floral forward. Definitely get that citrus and the floral in it. But in the candle, in the cold throw, I felt like it was a little bit more floral forward. So that's why I went with the name Peace and Petals. This one, Cowboy, I made into Everglades Ranger candle, which, even though it's a masculine, in my opinion, scent, it can also be unisex. It's not like an overpowering men's cologne kind of thing. It does have kind of a cologne feel to it, but it's just a beautiful scent. So it doesn't have to be, don't take it the wrong way. It doesn't have to be really a masculine scent. But what I had in mind with this one was the people who work hard and do the dirty work of trying to save the Everglades. The Everglades has the invasive animals in there, the pythons and different kinds of lizards and fish that really should not have made it into the Everglades, but there they are, disrupting the ecosystem. So I had that in mind as the inspiration for this candle, that this is about saving the Everglades and the people who do the work of trying to make sure that that ecosystem can survive with the invasive species that have moved in there. So as you've noticed, there's a story behind the candles that I make and the names because of the inspiration, and it's about the experience of the life here in Florida, and also about being conscious. So I started making candles because of the fact that I have skin allergies and I'm allergic to dyes and perfumes. And I wanted to make something that was going to be very clean burning and environmentally conscious as well as healthy for our lifestyle. So, as a lot of times people who make things or invent things or come up with a product, sometimes it's to solve their own problem. So this is very much about making a product that is good for us, good for the environment, and some of the stories behind the thought process of creating the names and everything is because of the lifestyle and the experience and being conscious of those things. The other thing is that candles can be very healing. So this one is the Eucalyptus Tea fragrance oil, and I named this candle Eucalyptus and Chamomile at the end of a long day when you're wanting to relax, or even in the morning as you wake up. This is something that, as part of my wellness collection, you can light this candle and relax and allow your mind and your body to relax. So this one is called Eucalyptus and Chamomile, and it's part of the wellness collection. So these all did really well in the wax. So not just out of the bottle, they actually have a really nice cold throw and hot throw in the wax. So very, very pleased with how these turned out. Thank you so much for joining us today, me and Chewy, and just talking about the fragrances and putting them into a candle. One of the things that I like about putting them into a candle is because you can really kind of get an understanding of that scent or the notes in the scent once they are in the product that you're making. So it's a little bit different out of the bottle versus in the candle. So that's why I wanted to make sure to put them in a candle so that it's, as part of the review, we can talk about how it performed in the product. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Pauline Chilton Show.